This is Steve Mariucci, and you're listening to the hottest podcast in the Keweenaw Peninsula.
Good morning, Oj. Welcome to Studio One. This will be episode 121, and this will be our last one for the year, heading into the Christmas, New Year season, so we'll be off for a little well-deserved Christmas break.
You got that right. Hey, this is our night before our first day off, right?
It is.
I look forward to these Sundays.
Although the last 2 days, maybe we would have probably had snow days anyway.
Oh,
Miserable weather.
well, we've been getting hosed on that a little bit.
We have.
There was no picnic on Friday either, going into school that morning.
I was really thinking we were getting one.
Yeah, I know you were, with some very confident texts that led me to believe we were going to be off on Friday, which steered me in the wrong direction on Thursday, if you know what I mean. But yeah, we got through it, and then with no warning, where the hell are these meteorologists?
Well, they're probably on Christmas vacation.
I mean, not just a little dusting or what do they call it, a wind advisory?
Yeah.
Yesterday it was something, like blizzard-like conditions.
You couldn't see out of our windows. I thought our house was coming off the foundation.
I went to, and it started all of a sudden, because early in the morning, 9, 10 o'clock, it wasn't bad. I was out there scooping and shoveling and whatever, and it was fine. And then it just started picking up, and next thing you know, you couldn't see the lake at our place. You could just hear it in the distance pounding against the ice wall out there. But I had made a point. I got to go into town for supplies, and I figured I would pick up my dad and we'd go over to Luigi's, So he was all set. I never heard from him, and I thought, well, I got to go in there, go uptown anyway. And it was worse in town. Literally coming to a stop on the main drag by Pat's IGA, could not see the vehicle in front of me, didn't know what was coming behind me. Got to the intersection, went through. My dad comes hobbling out, get in the truck, and he looks at me and says, probably should have just told you to stay back. I said, well, I had to come to town anyway. So we didn't even go. We didn't even go to Luigi's. He hopped in, and he said, I wouldn't care if we just, if you brought me back home. I said, well, that sounds good. So picked up my supplies, drove him back to the house. He went back up to the apartment, and that was it. And then I made my way back down the lake. So yeah, it was crazy.
Yeah, I took a buzz up to Cal City. I had to run a couple errands in the morning. It was good. Time I got back, I was gonna nestle into my chair anyway and watch football and stuff all day. But it was, again, for not having it predicted. Again, I checked the weather. I didn't see anything about a tsunami, hurricane, tornado coming through, or whatever.
Nothing.
But
what in the hell was there? And there was buses in town. Bus from Marquette and Westwood. Nice community schools, school buses in town, in Cal. What were they? I mean, I don't even understand what they would be doing.
Middle school basketball? I have no idea.
I saw both, and both of them were parked in Pat's IGA parking lot, and those poor drivers had to be going, thinking about their ride back.
Yeah, questioning their career choice.
Of course, maybe once they got past Chassel, it was clear sailing. Who knows? Because it was maybe just a localized thing, but
well, yeah, it was bad down here too.
Anyway,
a little Christmas. All your Christmas shopping done? Are you all prepared for the holiday?
Under control. Not done, but under control.
Be running to Harders to pick up a couple last minute gifts?
Yeah, well, I gotta go to Houghton for sure. There's a couple places I'll run to down there, but Amazon works well. Just gotta make sure they get those deliveries on time, but yeah, we're all set there.
Alright, well let's start with a little Christmas stuff, Oj. And I know we've done this in the past, we probably did top 5s or 10s or whatever, but what's your favorite Christmas movie?
No doubt Lampoon's Christmas Vacation.
Yeah,
that's without a doubt. I could watch that. I have watched it multiple times. Then there's all the big debate: is Die Hard a Christmas movie? Which I don't think it is.
I never really cared for Die Hard when I watched it on VHS tape when I was 14. Really? It was all right, but
it's intense.
Well, yeah. But
yeah, I don't know. I'm not big into the Christmas movies. I guess I don't know that one. What's the Christmas Story? I guess we watched that. That's shooting his eye out, right?
Yeah.
That's pretty much a classic.
You know what would look good in the upper deck lounge? A lamp made out of a leg.
With a leg. Yeah, he was proud of that. But yeah, I'd have to say Christmas Vacation.
I'll put that one in my top 2, top 3. Mine is Elf. I get a kick out of Elf every time I watch it. it makes me chuckle. I'll probably watch it again here this week.
Believe it or not, I've never sat and watched that through.
Are you kidding me?
No, I haven't. And I love, what's his name, the actor?
Will Ferrell.
Will Ferrell. I mean, I love everything he does. But for some reason, I mean, I've seen bits and pieces of it, but I've never sat and watched that through its
Good
entirety.
Lord. Usually, I'm the one you're talking about movies that I've never even watched.
Now I know.
You would get a kick out of
And
it.
there's a lot of people that love Elf too, so
It's got a similar kind of theme to Christmas Vacation with the humor in it. So, what about Christmas song?
Oh, holy night, the stars are brightly shining.
Oh, really?
Yeah, my favorite.
Okay. I got one that's a little bit different, but I always liked the Little Drummer Boy. Parum pum pum pum.
Not a whole lot of words to that
No,
song.
but
Probably wouldn't make listen to the lyrics.
I could. All right, let's jump into why the 10 people that are listening to this are here today. But college football playoff. Did you sit and watch football all day yesterday?
I had a blast with it. And like I mentioned before the show, I had some decent success with the gambling.
Nice.
I started out right off the bat with deciding that both Texas A&M and Miami's defenses are tougher than hell. They're good D linemen, and I figured it would be game one in the trenches.
Yep.
And I went and took the under in the first half total, and then I took the under for the game, separate bets, and that worked out extremely well. If anyone watched that game, it was you talk about a war in the frickin' trenches. That was it, eh? Oh.
Was not a good day to play quarterback.
Man, and I guess it came down to just after bludgeoning each other the whole game, it's which team could outlast that other one and put a drive together to win it. And it looked like A&M did, but then Miami came back and to Michael Irvin's pleasure.
We don't need to show him on the sideline every other snap. But and then I think did Miami miss 2 or 3 field goals as well?
Yeah, did A&M miss one?
I think they did as well.
Yeah, so it was windier than hell too.
There was a lot of wind yesterday, not just on the Gay Hill and on the Lakeshore Drive.
It was ripping, but man, what a physical game! Great game to watch.
So Miami now moves on to play Ohio State, which that's going to be a good game to watch. Did you watch the one Friday night between Alabama and Oklahoma?
I did. That was, I guess you got to give the Bama credit there. 17-0. Nothing went right for them early.
Mm-hmm.
And with Oklahoma's defense, I thought they had that game locked up, and Bama started to make some plays and had 24 unanswered or whatever they put out there.
Bad pick 6 by Oklahoma.
Oh, that was horrible. That was horrible.
That was bad. I really didn't see that score being that high, but to Alabama's credit, they came back and...
Oh, I won that night too. Because I went remember that? You were telling me what you were going to do, or thinking about doing, or would do, and I went the opposite, like Costanza, and I hit the over and Bama in that game. So I good Friday too.
Here.
I don't know. I still don't trust Alabama to.
Well, they still didn't run the ball.
No, they did not. And they got Indiana next.
Yep, they will play at Indiana. A lot of storylines there with Signetti and DeBoer.
Isn't that something though? Alabama at Indiana in a playoff college football game. You would have told me that 3 years ago, I'd have said you were completely nuts.
Yeah.
It's a shocking pairing.
But they're like Alabama's just that they're like a bad rash. They just won't go away, right? Just when you think they're gonna blow up, they didn't. So credit to them. How much of Ole Miss and Tulane did you watch?
They were on, but I was really in the other room playing music. So that game, I think Ole Miss scored on 3 plays to start the game, and then got the ball back and ran about 3 more and scored again. It was 17-0 or 14-0 instantly, which is kind of what we expected from that game. So they covered their spread. Tulane they actually had some pretty cool trick plays.
Yeah,
they pulled everything out.
The old double pass.
Oh, that was good. Did you see the guys when they huddled?
Yeah, the starburst.
Yeah, that was funnier than hell too. So they had everything going to try to hang around in that game, but inevitably that was what was going to happen there. I'm kind of pulling for Ole Miss a little bit with those kids and what they had to deal with their, Mr. Kiffin bolting on them. So
Yeah, good for the guy that stepped in as head coach. A couple.
Did they name him coach?
I don't think so. I don't know for sure. He's interim. I gotta think he's gonna be a strong candidate. It sounds like he's got the locker room behind him, like the guys. And again, you look at that game. Granted, it's Tulane, but they played hard. They did what they had to do, and now they get to go and play Georgia.
Yeah, and what was their score during the season? Georgia Ole Miss.
I don't remember what that was. Georgia won, and I'll tell you right now, I'm going to change my bet. I think I'm taking Georgia to win the whole thing.
Yeah, you could make an argument for probably how many of these teams could you legitimately make an argument for to win the national title?
Indiana, Ohio State, Georgia.
Oregon? Not the way they played. Oregon?
Oregon, yeah, we'll get to that in a minute, but I don't know. Something just doesn't sit right with me. I was going to say rubs me the wrong way, but I'm not doing that today because it's Christmas season. But something just doesn't sit right with Oregon. I guess I'd probably put them in fourth, and
That was disappointing yesterday for many reasons. Allowing James Madison to go 99 yards in the final drive of the game to screw the spread up.
Yeah, so it's Oregon too. Now we got to clean this up, Oj, because we rail on people for calling it a sauna when it's really a sauna. And apparently we have been saying Oregon.
Who's bringing that up?
And it's really Oregon. I am not going to mention Michael Donnelly's name because I don't want to
suspend his ass,
throw him under the bus. But yeah, apparently we've been saying it wrong, and we addressed this once before. It is Oregon. So Oregon beat James Madison 51-34, and I watched the first half, then I flipped over to the Packer game, which was just as disappointing. But to give up 34 points to James Madison, hard time picking you to win anything.
43-35. Sorry. That was the result. Georgia beat Ole Miss 43-35 in October, mid-October, so touchdown type game.
Probably 43-17 this time.
Boy, I'd love to see Ole Miss hang one on that.
I'm rooting for old Trinidad.
Yeah, that's true too.
So Oregon, they'll play Texas Tech, which I really know nothing about. I don't think I've watched a second of Texas Tech this year.
Yeah, recently I did. Who would they have played? Maybe Oklahoma.
Maybe.
I don't remember who it was. I saw a little bit of them. Miami, Ohio State, I think, is going to be a hell of a game. Miami can match up with them up front. There's no doubt in my mind. Their offensive line and their D line as well, I think, can go toe to toe with Ohio State. Now, can they deal with their receivers?
I think that's the question, right?
And
Miami's going to get pressure. They're going to get pressure at some point. And,
right. How that saying handles that.
Are you putting your corners on islands with those receivers, or are you gonna try and get home with four? So there's gonna be some moving parts there. But let's do this, Oj. Alabama, Indiana. Who are you taking?
I'm gonna take Indiana. I think it'll be low scoring, 3 to 4 point game, like a 20-17 type win. I just think Indiana will play clean. I don't think they'll turn the ball over. I think Alabama will get a turnover or two, which will be the difference in the game, and Hoosiers will win.
All right, I'm going to echo your sentiment and take Indiana as well. Miami, Ohio State.
In the end, it's going to be the more talented team all the way around. I think Ohio State wins it. But I think that'll be another one. Be curious on over-unders and stuff like that. Maybe a 24-20 type game, 27-20. Buckeyes.
I'll take Ohio State as well, and I think it'll probably be like 21-7.
Well, as we say this, let's go and we'll check these spreads out and see what they have early lines for these games.
Well, while you're pulling that up, you got Oregon and Texas Tech.
Well, like I said, I have not watched a second of Texas Tech, so I can't even make an argument for them. So I got to go with the Ducks.
They are not sitting well with me right now, but I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt because they're in the Big Ten.
Okay, so we got a couple games in here. So Ohio State is a 10-point favorite against Miami.
Really?
Boy, I like Miami right up initially on that.
Boy, that could be a 10-3 game.
Plus 10. Over under at 41.5.
That's not sure.
Yeah. I like the +10. I like Miami in that. Oregon is a 1.5 point favorite against Texas Tech.
Okay, so that's a pick 'em, kind of like what we were thinking.
Now that game, are these games?
Well,
they're at the home, right? Texas Tech is
No,
hosting.
these are at the bowls. These
They're
are at,
neutral
like,
sites?
Orange Bowl, Sugar Bowl.
Oh, just the okay.
Yeah.
Alabama is +7 against the Hoosiers. So if my prediction is correct, what I just muttered, I would take Alabama and +7
Okay.
against the Hoosiers.
I'm riding the Hoosiers. I'm gonna take them.
How about the under and at? 48.5 is the over/under and at.
Again, that's going under, I think. Well, I shouldn't say that because I thought Alabama, Oklahoma would be under too, but
And then Georgia -7 against Ole Miss.
so that sounds about right. I do got one major beef with this playoff system right now. I thought we were playing.
Other than we had to watch Tulane and old James Madison.
Yeah, this is true. That is but this one's even bigger. So we're not playing these next games next weekend? We got a week off?
Oh, I didn't even realize
I
that.
think so. I think they're playing like New Year's Eve, New Year's Day, and then the final is until January 19th.
Oh, they're milking this.
God.
This stretch there. I didn't realize that. I thought it was a quick turnaround and then maybe a off for the final
That's
four.
I thought too, but
Jesus.
because there's one game New Year's Eve, and then the other ones are New Year's Day, and that's it. Come on, guys.
Huh.
Dragging it out. Sticking with college football, Oj, what do we got on the Michigan update? I have not heard a whole heck of a lot.
I certainly didn't think we'd be sitting here doing this podcast 3 weeks after the whole thing went down.
Yeah, we thought it was going to happen
Like
within
that
a day.
that show.
Yeah.
So the only thing I'm hearing now is, there was some rumors that DeBoer was, obviously waiting to see what would have happened if they would have lost yesterday. Maybe there's potential there, but he isn't saying a thing about it, which he shouldn't.
He shouldn't.
Now I see that Kenny Dillingham just re-upped with Arizona State.
Yep, 5-year deal, I think. So he's out.
So the only one that consistently pops up right now is the guy at Utah. Whittingham.
Yeah, I like him. I don't know if he's a great fit at Michigan, but I've always liked what he's
Done well over there for years, consistency with that program. So that's the one. But I thought I was watching or flipping through the phone earlier today, and it wasn't Shefty. It was
Clapp.
who's the one that used to be on with do the NFL draft with
Mel Kiper.
Kuiper, his buddy. McShay, Todd McShay. So he had this morning. He said, I'm just shocked that this has never been mentioned. And I was like, well, waiting who? And he brought up Brian Griese. He said Brian Griese is one of the smartest football minds there is.
Okay.
A lot of and a diehard Michigan guy.
Yep.
Quarterback their national title team.
You mean he played ahead of Tom Brady?
So he mentioned him because I just can't understand why his name has not been fully
Is he
around.
coaching somewhere?
Well, the latest, or his most recent, was he was quarterbacks coach with the 49ers.
Okay, yeah, I had no idea.
So I don't know what his situation is now. That was last year. So I guess we got to put our people on and do a little research here and see what he's up to now and why his name hasn't been thrown out there. But McShay was all over it, just speaking really highly of him. So who knows? But
That's interesting. That would be an interesting one. I did kind of get the impression that your boy Brian Kelly is out.
Thank God.
Jed Fish is still floating around a little bit, but he's kind of lost some steam. You know a name that would be very interesting? We'll get to this when we get to some questions, but
Dion?
Not Dion. Not Dion. No. How about Tony Anise?
Yeah. Well,
I mean, it's not flashy, but man.
I don't think he can do that. Certainly, if there's anyone that's earned the right to go from a Division II head coach to a Division I head coach in one step, it would be that guy.
Won titles everywhere he's been.
I think he's got to go to Western or somewhere first and maybe win there. But yeah.
Yeah, it'd be an interesting one.
So we'll see. We got we got Biff running the show now again, so
Is there any chance he gets the job full time?
I can't imagine. I don't know if he'd even want it, really. I mean, is that the type of role he wants to take on at this stage of his life?
Yeah, I don't know.
It seems like he's pretty happy just doing it every once in a while and
Being
an
around.
advisory role
Yep.
and eating ice cream and smoking Cubans.
Yeah, so I guess we would have both lost a bet as far on how long this process was taking. I keep flipping on Twitter and expecting to see some breaking news that they hired somebody, but they are not in a big rush apparently. And the transfer portal opens January 2nd.
The AD still has his job?
Apparently, but that are we good with college football?
Yeah, it's looking forward to it. It would be a lot nicer if we could watch it next weekend, but
Well, I'm sure there's
According to
other
you-
bowl games.
yeah, well, who cares about them? That's the most
The-
useless.
The Mayo Bowl, where you can dump mayo on the winning coach.
Oh my God!
Pop-Tart Bowl.
I hope PJ Fleck's in that.
I wasn't going to bring this up, but I've heard his name tossed around in Michigan too.
We cannot have that. Can you imagine?
Do you change allegiance if they hire him, or do you get?
No,
or do
but
you
I mean, my God.
do you get in the boat with them and start rowing?
I'm going to send him a chook. First of all, so we don't have to look at that ridiculously perfectly shaved bald head when it's 15 degrees. He's going to be the nice guy, tough guy, wearing, without any hat on and his stupid little tie and his vest. You can have that guy.
Okay. So you will not be rowing the boat with him.
No.
Let's move on to the NFL. A couple games early in the week. I forgot about that. We get to this point. You got the Thursday night game, and then we had two on Saturday. One of which really sucked.
Oh.
Boy,
Get your takes on that, right? Or your take on that right away.
The Pack are in a bad spot right now. I know the injuries. I mean, Parsons out, Love's going to be out. But man, they can't get out of their own way at times. They were in the red zone how many times in that first half? They came away with like 3 points or 6. But man, they make so many bad mistakes. And do you know what the percentage of success is on an onside kick in the NFL?
Less than 10?
There's a better chance you and I win the lottery. But somehow the Packers...
Well, it was a complete meltdown in the final couple minutes, for Chicago to win that game. But like you said, none of that would have happened if they would have just taken care of business when they had chances in the first half, because they should have been up by more than they were going into that fourth quarter. And really, Chicago did nothing. Credit Green Bay's D for 3 quarters until Williams made some plays. The Bears have done this that's like their 6th time that they've won in the final couple minutes of these games, trailing. So you got to give them some credit for that. And I was thinking to myself about how many teams in the NFL we could make an argument for that are capable of winning a Super Bowl, a championship this year. And I thought, well, I can't really say both Chicago and Green Bay. So in my mind, I said, I'll look at the winner of that game last night, and maybe you could make an argument for them, which ended up being Chicago. So there's a decent chance they play again in the playoffs too.
The Packers need a lot of help. Like they got to win their 2 games, and the Bears have to lose their 2 games.
Well, to get the division, right?
Yeah, but I don't know that the Packers are going to get in. They got some work to do.
Not as much as the Lions.
Yeah, Packers and the Lions have put themselves in these positions too, and somehow the Bears just keep finding ways to eke them out. And
so there's 2 games today that have huge playoff implications. Some of these games, one team needs them, where the other team is out. But there's 2 games where the playoff leverage is critical. It's huge for both teams, and one of them is Detroit. I think Detroit, if they win this game, their playoff probability goes up 40 to 40-some% or whatever it is. If they lose it, they're basically out. The chances are slim to none if they lose this game at home today to Pittsburgh. And the Steelers need it as well. I think they played Baltimore yet, but as far as them winning that division, this is a critical game for them. So that's huge. And who in the heck would have ever guessed that we'd be sitting here going, if the Carolina Panthers win today, they'll be in the lead of in front in their division.
Yeah.
Tampa Bay has lost 5 of their last 6 or something like that, And Carolina was one of the teams early in the year. It was like whoever they played, that's who we take in Survivor, you know. And now they're sitting in this spot. They're +3 at home today, by the way.
I saw that.
With Tampa. So anyway, those are the two big ones.
And who would have ever thought that we'd be looking at the Denver Broncos as the best team in the league? Tell me 3 people on that team.
And that's another team. Well, let's see, 3. Bo Nix. Bo Nix.
Yeah, that's the only one I got too.
Yeah, all right, let's move on. So yeah, you're right. They've found ways like Chicago also to win. So
And they are good on defensively. They are very good.
you know the team that I look at too when you talk about making arguments for teams to win a Super Bowl. What about the Texans? Speaking of defense,
I was just going to say that Denver's defense is so good, but the Texans' defense is unbelievable.
yeah, they are legit on that side of the ball. If C.J. Stroud can just play decent, not
Yeah.
screw things up, they have a legit shot. Like I was looking online today about taking a flyer on a team to win a Super Bowl and just check these odds out. That might be one to throw, just because of their defense. They're good. They're like 14.5-point favorites against the Raiders today.
And they are the defense on my fantasy team as we head into the semifinals.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Well, that's been good. Well, you should get some TOs today with that train wreck of a team in the Raiders.
I know.
How
How many points do you think the Raiders are going to score today?
They're I saw somewhere on there where their over under was like 10.5.
Under, right?
So
unless somebody fumbles something.
well, that's the thing. Something stupid could happen to get a touchdown, and then you're a couple field goals. I guess tonight's game too has got some pretty big implications. New England is at Baltimore. Patriots need that win after screwing up last week. They blew an opportunity there. Had a big lead on Buffalo and lost it.
Has there been any team in the league more underwhelming than Baltimore?
Yeah, you're right. We're looking at a situation too where with the NFL playoffs, we're not going to have Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, possibly no Jared Goff. That's 3 pretty big names for quarterbacks that have obviously, Mahomes and Jackson for sure, big time playoff performances over the years. But yeah, so we're going to do our picks.
Yep.
Speaking of little to no chance of making it to the playoffs.
Me?
You. Your Seahawks, 13.5 points going up against Doc Rivers over last week.
Yeah.
With the Colts, and they couldn't cover that. So that one cost you. You were 1-2. You're 13, 18-1. I was 2-1, 18-14. I guess this is the week that I can clinch it because if I go 0-6 next 2 weeks, and you go 6-0, Jickie's cooking the steaks that I buy. So it ain't looking good for you, Crouchy, but I know you still got some fight in you.
No, hey, never say die. It ain't over till it's over, and it very well could be over after
those,
today.
And all those things.
Yeah.
All right, so
maybe we'll win one for the Gipper today. When the going gets tough.
Yeah, I got it. Yeah, I don't even care if you want to pick first. Go ahead.
Okay. There's a couple of them. I was looking at these games today. I'm going to save that one. How about the Vikings at the Giants? Vikings are 2.5 at the Giants.
All of a sudden, JJ's playing some football.
Don't the Giants have like 2 wins?
Yeah, they're horrible too.
Okay, well, I'm taking the Vikings. I would have thought the Vikings would be favored by a touchdown.
The Vikings are -2.5. All right, that's good. Let's go. I'm gonna take. How can the Saints be a 6.5 point favorite on anybody? The Jets are a mess. I get it, but I can't imagine New Orleans being a 6.5 point favorite against anyone. So I'll take the Jets on a game that there's no way I can watch that game. I mean, if that's the only one on, I'm watching A Christmas Story over and over today.
Good day to watch Elf.
Jesus, yeah. I'll take the Jets plus 6.5. I can't believe those words just came out of my mouth. But
okay, well I'm gonna push the envelope here and go for the win. I'll take the Saints. Didn't the Saints just beat somebody last weekend?
Who knows?
And the Jets are worse than whoever they played.
-6.5. Yeah. I guess that's one way to look at trying to make a comeback.
Yeah, I'm just gonna pick up you of every one of them.
I'll go. I'm going to take Detroit minus 7.5.
I like that one too. I think they're gonna. I
It
don't
seems like a day for Detroit, doesn't it? Like all of a
I
sudden,
don't like that half point, but
no, I don't either.
But
But it seems like all this, Goff is going to have a frickin' fantasy day. Gibbs is going to have 2 or 3 touchdowns.
Yep.
Detroit will probably put 40 on the board. So yeah, I got the Lions covering.
okay. And here's another one where the spread is kind of befuddling to me, but I'm gonna take the Fighting Harbaughs plus 1.5 at Dallas.
Game is still meaningful for them. Not meaningful for Dallas.
How is Dallas favored though?
I don't know, because they can score. Who knows? The Chargers are banged up. I mean, they've been banged up for weeks, but they just find a way to win these ugly ass games. So they'll probably find a way on this beautiful Sunday to win another one against my Cowboys. Plus 1.5. Eh?
Plus, I need Herbert to have a heck of a day.
He's your fantasy quarterback?
Yeah. Bad move I made, so I didn't start Stafford the other night because it was supposed to be crappy weather, Seattle D. So.
I'm going to go with the home team for my third pick in a big game. There they are, Carolina Panthers, another one. Who the hell would ever thought I'd be taking them this late in the year against Tampa?
Who we thought Tampa had a chance to get to the Super Bowl.
Exactly, yeah, both 4 or 5 weeks ago, yeah. I got Carolina plus 3 at home.
Yeah, I like that. I like that pick, Oj. I like that pick. So that means Baker. If I pick them, Baker will throw for 5 touchdowns and 400 yards. But
probably the case.
All right, we got to get down to some important business here. We need an update on this Miller Lite saga because we've got a lot of communication. Apparently, we got listeners who have the same thing happen with their Miller High Life cans.
Lots of feedback on this.
Lots of feedback. Jenny Bujak took a video of you opening one live that is all over the social media world right now, and we got to hear what's going on with this.
That was like can number 3 out of there. So I at some point you got to figure this is going to end, right? So I went and grabbed another 15 pack, and lo and behold,
you are persistent,
man. And yeah, so that it's every single can in the box, just like I said. And after getting through the first 2, pop them open, dump them in a mug. Then I said, we got to film this. So I brought that third one in there, and Jen filmed it. We got it out on. I sent it to you. I see it made its way onto the internet.
Yep. The interweb.
Interweb, yeah. I sent it to Bucko Sauter. I sent whatever. He got a hold of that, and he actually sent the video to Peterland distributing. I'm sure nothing will happen. It's not Peterland's or anyone's fault up here why this is.
Oh, it's quality control at the.
Yeah. So I even heard I had one person that did text and say that they bought a full case, and it was the same thing with that case. Now I've never had it happen in a case. Took those at deer camp, but I think maybe one here. But yeah, I've never had that in a 24 pack, just the 15s. So I'm going with the bottles for a while.
Well, I think we fixed that saga too. You just got to make sure you clean up.
I know. Caps, yeah.
And we do got to mention, right? We put up the little graphic of Oj returning the 15th pack. This has nothing to do with Buckles or Harders or any store whatsoever. It is not their fault. It's obviously a Miller Lite thing, and the fact that we have a local store contacting the local distributor, and maybe they're going to take it right to the top.
It could be. The show makes a difference. We'll see what happens in this situation, but it's getting a little annoying, no doubt about it.
Do you think you're going to end up with a free Miller Lite chook or something?
That's all I ask. or free for life. I don't know. Whatever they can come up with.
Oj is going to get a lifetime membership to Miller Lite delivered to his house.
One can only dream, but I'll just stick with the bottles until somebody steers me back in the other direction, and I'm not getting another 15 pack of cans.
Until you hear the saga has been fixed?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. I want proof.
Okay. Let's give the Mark Leaf tip of the cap today, Oj. MTU men's hoops team was down in Florida for a tourney.
I see they shot relatively well in the last
Holy
game.
Mackinac. The first game they won was a decent game, and I kind of flipped it on yesterday. The team they played yesterday was really good. I had heard that from one of the coaches. The guy on the TV broadcast was saying this is kind of amazing. This team, Lynn is a very good university, and Tech shot the lights out.
Is it 23 threes they hit?
Yeah.
Tomaszek had 11 himself.
And I think Abel had 11.
Oh.
And they shot like this. I was looking at the halftime score, and it was like 65-35, which 65 points is a lot of. I mean, the final scores are usually like 70s, and they shot the lights out. What a performance by those guys!
Yeah, it put up a hundy. I mean, it's nice to see this Tech team opening up offensively and not slowed, the choker chain from Coach Luke on him for all those years, Yeah, that was impressive though. I did read that this morning, so.
Yeah, well, that's good.
Oh. So yeah, other than that, we have a little Northern Arizona situation. We had talked to, this was the last episode, we had Coach Burkar on, and where's our Lumberjacks? Tough loss against Arizona State, did not play well offensively in that game.
Yeah, so as of today, our Lumberjacks are 5-6. They're playing University of Incarnate Word, who's pretty good. And that game is later today while we're taping this. Their preseason schedule's been pretty tough. Like I said, you mentioned the Arizona State game, but they also played Arizona, some other teams. So they're heading into, after the holiday, getting into Big Sky tourney. They're not tourney, the conference play and stuff. When we talked with Coach Burkar, he was excited about his team and feels they can compete in that league.
Well, you hope this non-conference schedule early in the season, the losses, you just hope that they prepped them for this conference schedule. Loosen calluses a little bit, getting them tough, get them ready for that stretch. The wins haven't all been there, obviously, but we'll see. It'd be nice if they can put a little run together and nail a few victories in that conference to start out their schedule and see where it goes from there.
And they did play, I think it was a Tuesday night. I listened, actually had it on the radio, listened to our good friend Mitch Stroman. And then NAU defeated Southern Utah 65-57. Pretty good game. I know Coach Burkar is excited about the team, and even though playing the big dogs, he says those are going to do nothing but make us better. And we're back into the mid-season form mode, and we got Coach Burkar's post-game interview after the big win over Southern Utah.
Design to Construct is a full-service commercial design and construction company located in Jackson, Wisconsin, dedicated to creating personalized building solutions to meet our clients' goals. Our lasting relationships with past customers truly help set us apart from any other design build company.
All right, let's hit the mailbag. Pretty light in the mailbag. Good question, though. Our buddy Paul from Boise. Howdy, boys. Howdy, Paul.
Howdy, Paul. Sorry, I was reading the other question there.
That's like an old one.
Oh.
This is it says episode 115. We're on 121 today.
Oh, that's why I thought I recognized that question.
So, Paul's question. He goes, I just watched Ferris State win their 4th national title in the last 5 years. Overall, they are 66-5 and 31-2 in conference play over that span. Is it too easy to credit their success to mastering the transfer portal? Is any team in the GLIAC capable of establishing a program that can challenge Ferris State?
Well, they had success before the transfer portal. Before any of that was out there. They were winning. So he's been able to do it on both levels, both ways. Mastering it, they're one of the teams when they've got themselves at this level of Division II, they're getting some big time Division II transfers, and they're also getting into Division I guys coming down, where a lot of those other D2 schools aren't able to do that as successfully and as consistent, I think, as Ferris State. But let's not just say that he's only done it because of the transfer portal.
I would
damn impressive.
I would argue that he's winning despite the transfer portal. I'm sure they're getting guys in, but look at the people that he's lost.
That's
true
too.
Trinidad Chambliss is the one, right? And he probably should have been at the Heisman as a Heisman finalist. But they had I think it was 4 or 5 other guys that played this year in Power 5 conferences. So, they get a lot of the good kids in that Grand Rapids, Detroit area. They get the talented kids, and they develop them, and they get some in. But I would argue that they have lost more in that portal than they probably have gained. I mean, if you look at the quality of that.
Yeah, good point.
And I'm going to kind of go off on a little bit of a rant, right? The GLIAC is the toughest Division II conference in the country. I don't even know if that's debatable at this point. And do you know how many GLIAC schools made the playoffs this year?
One.
Ferris.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so now let's look at a couple games. When we played Ferris, it was a pretty good game. 38-10, and we had 5 turnovers in the first half, so played them relatively tough, right?
Mm-hmm.
They went to double overtime with Saginaw Valley.
Yep.
And they beat Grand Valley by a touchdown. So they're not just steamrolling everybody in that
and
league.
then they get into the tournament and steamroll these other teams that are in there. And yeah, it's a good point. Can the commissioners of the GLIAC can they make noise about this?
I think there's some noise being made. It's all based on regional rankings, and you get teams that kind of beat up on each other, so the records aren't as sexy. But I would argue that if there was the GLIAC is helping prepare Ferris, because like you said, I don't think they had a game in the playoffs. So.
And really, the title game was close for a half, I guess, right?
Yeah, but it really wasn't. I was kind of excited to watch that too, because Harding's a flexbone team, but they're just not in the same. They're not in the same league this year with them. They're a very, very good program, but and again, we mentioned his name, Tony Anise, and just class act guy, has done well. From starting at high school to, big high schools, junior college, and now at this level. So. Congrats to Ferris, but good question, Paul. Located 8 miles south of Lake Winnet on the Bojack Road, Dreamland Restaurants, your choice for great dining. Family owned and operated for over 100 years. Whether you're in the mood for their Mexican Monday specials, burgers, pizza, or Friday fish fry, Dreamland is your next stop.
It's not my next stop.
You're going to Louis.
Yes, probably.
Okay. Well, your next stop is to listen to the lyrics.
Yeah, so.
A little surprised with this one too, by the way. I didn't know if you were a fan of him or not.
I'll be getting to that in a second, but over the last few weeks, I've had a couple people reach out to me asking why there's no Garth Brooks songs and what is my favorite Garth Brooks song. So people have been knocking on the door a little bit with that.
Okay.
So, first off, I'm not a big Garth fan. His live performances are something else. If you ever watch them on YouTube, they're pretty goddamn impressive. And I actually got to see him live at the Hodag way back when.
Did you really?
Yeah, he was, I think, just his second album was out. Because his first album came out in 1989, which I'll get to. But it was still early on, but Friends in Low Places was out, so that was on album 2, I believe. So it was that early 90s, and it was something. He's a really good live performer. But I'm just not a big Garth fan. But I'll give this song a chance here. Not a chance, I'll put it out there. It's the one and only that qualifies in my mind for listening to the lyrics. And I think it's his best. And it was his first 1989 release. This song kind of revitalized a stuck-in-the-mud musical career of a rodeo guy named Chris Ledoux. Ledoux was shocked when he said he heard, just driving around, he heard his name mentioned in the Garth Brooks song, and like I said, it was that first release off that debut album, and it really got his career going. He was able to release a couple albums off of that, found some success, and then he even toured a little bit with Garth Brooks. So that was the great Chris Ledoux, who died a number of years ago. But my favorite song off that Garth Brooks album, first one he ever released, he co-wrote it with Randy Taylor. The debut single from 1989, here's Much Too Young.
Okay, I think think that's a good choice, Oj. I've always kind of liked Garth. Some of his stuff got annoying at times, but unlike you, I think my days of concerts are done. I'm sick of. I don't get into that. All those people.
It's because you worry about peeing too much.
I do, but I would. I think I would go see Garth live. I think that's one of the few people left out there that I would probably go see. But I think it's a good choice.
Well, you were at a concert Friday.
Oh, I was. Yeah, yesterday's wine. But you know, it was nice there. It wasn't overcrowded, and there was no lines to get in the bathroom.
Yes, that's true. Hell of a job by yesterday's wine again, by the way.
They did. It was good. Very good. Very good to see them. That's probably one of the best venues to go and kind of hang out and watch music. I think.
Lead singer sporting a new hat.
Yep.
Not sure I agree with that hat, but that's.
Hey,
he's made it to the point where he can make his own decisions on what he wears on stage.
Or his wife told him to wear it, right? All right, Oj. Merry Christmas to you, all our listeners and stuff. We're kind of a week out here, but as we start our Christmas vacation, the holidays come upon us very fast and very furiously, right?
For sure. It's we got a nice little break here, but looking forward to today's football games and then family time around the holidays, so it should be fun.
All right, see you, Oj.
Talk to you later, Crouchy.